aware that everyone can't be Benny Hinn or even Marilyn Hickey. But my point is that we ought to be able to make ourselves to be available to God to be used as agents of restoration. But how can we do that? If you ain't never been through nothing, how you gonna tell me how to go through?
That's right.
Or how to come out?
Yeah.
If you've never been broken,
My God.
and you've never experienced healing yourself, how you gonna help somebody else? Can you do it? Can you do it? If you break your foot, can you tell me how to recover? And it's all women in here. If you had a hysterectomy or female surgery, can you tell me what I need to do to recover?
No.
You can get online and Google it, right? But you can't really tell me from personal experience.
Right. That makes sense.
Yes.
A healer restores those who are in a diseased position back to a correct position. We should all be designed to be healers. And whether we realize it or not, our society, take a look on the TV and around in your community, we're burning with a fever. The temperatures are running hot. People are living with anxiety, and we are overcome with stress. We have high blood pressure, low blood pressure. We are physically overweight and mentally overworked. We are ill. Our temperatures are running hot, and we are sweating each other to get our voices heard and our needs met. Lobbyists and politicians are sweating Congress with concerns for the environmental control, gun control, birth control, women's rights, Black, Latina, all of that. Police and investigators are sweating foreigners for the threat of terrorism and minorities for the threat of guns.
My God.
We are sweating our government for more Social Security, unemployment benefits, and safety measures.
Yes.
We have mothers sweating their fathers of their children for more financial support. Come on, shut up. Y'all don't get quiet on me. Y'all don't got your stuff.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Child support.
Amen.
Pay that bill.
Right. Better teach it.
And contribution of their time to support their sons and daughters. And we're sweating parents for lessons in adulthood and independence. Our world is sweating with the potentials of nuclear holocaust and genocide. If y'all ain't woke, you best get woke now. Temperatures are running high.
Come on,
we are in a world running with fever. And yet the fever is not the cause of our condition.
Come on.
After all, a fever is never the cause, but it's the symptom of something else going on deep inside of us.
Yes. Wow.
And we as a church can't afford to just treat the symptom, but we must address the cause. We cannot afford to live our lives reacting to the symptoms of a larger illness.
Oh my God.
True healing, come on, turn to your neighbor and say, true healing. True healing addresses the cause. The roots, come on, down to the root cause. What's really going on?
That's it. Say that.
You see, we are just treating the symptoms of an ailing world. We treat the symptoms of homelessness with our feeding ministry at the local shelter, and that's cute, and that's great, and that's awesome. We treat the symptom of drug addiction by providing spaces for our NA meetings held at our churches. We treat the symptom of teens at risk with our various activities to keep them busy for young people. But in order to truly heal a sin-sick world, we must now address the cause. And if you've been living your life in the shadows, the cause really is sin and destructive behavior of Satan's kingdom against God's kingdom. It's not changed. The word is written and it's already declared that you have fighting principalities. Come on now, don't you know that we're in a war? We're in warfare. And you do know that your biggest enemy is not Trump or Putin. You know we wrestle against flesh and blood, but against power, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities and rulers in high places. We are really dealing with Satan and his kingdom. Why are we so haphazardly unconnected, unbothered, and moved when we see these things going on in our world? Is it that we have become numb?
My God.
And we're just like, that's going to just be?
My God.
And we accept that the enemy is running rampant? Oh, my, help us, God. our task to reclaim our territory He has taken for God's kingdom. We have to reclaim our homes, reclaim our children, reclaim our community, and finances and so forth.
My God, yes.
Christ wants us to reclaim that which is ours. Just look at the text. Here it is that Peter has decided to leave everything behind and follow Jesus. Yes, baby. She's fine. He has been listening to Jesus teach, hearing Him preach, and watching Him heal and deliver others. Yet, in his own home, there's a sickness.
Yeah.
And although he has a strong relationship with Jesus, when it comes to his home, things are out of control. Have you been there?
Yes.
Up trying to push and pray, praying for other people's children, and yours back at the house acting a fool.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Telling everybody else is going to be all right, and you don't know how you're going to make it yourself. Come on now. Help me.
My God, my God.
Many of us are not strangers to this condition. And like Peter, we've been living our lives from the inside of a fishbowl. We've been watching everyone else get their breakthrough, watching others achieve their dreams and success, watching others get their delivered from the same habits and addictions that we once had or we still have, and watching others get healed and cured from sicknesses that we have. Sunday after Sunday, we watch Jesus move in the lives of others. Others wondering, when will it be my turn? When am I going to get my breakthrough? When First Lady going to ask me to speak? When will I get my blessing? When is my household going to get saved? When will my mother get off her sick bed? When am I going to come out of financial debt? God, you did it for Sister So-and-so, and I can't even speak to her. Because she got what I want. And Lord, if the truth be told, I'm jealous. I'm envious of her. Because I see God doing all this wonderful and marvelous things in her life, and I'm jealous because you haven't come on my road yet. Can you be honest with me on today? Lord, when are you going to send me my Boaz? So I can miss the prayer breakfast and lay up Miss Lana, you got the keys? When is my child going to stop cutting up in school? I get so tired of the school calling me, telling me that little Peanut is being a tyrant. Man, it's real.
That's right.
Every day, all day long. Lord, while you are blessing others, please bless me. Even me, Lord. Like Job, we've examined our lives. We've been faithful in our giving. We've been faithful in our worship. We've been there. We've been supportive. We've been supporting the ministry. We've been there every time Pastor had to go somewhere and speak and preach. We was there, Lord. When is it going to be my turn?
Come on.
Oh, if you've never been there, just keep on living, baby. Just keep on living. Just keep on living. Lord, have mercy. Jesus. Yeah, I hear you, Holy Ghost. Yet, in our homes, we have sickness and things are out of control. How is it that we're supposed to go on, God? And I'm out here doing all of this stuff for you. I'm with the healer. I'm with the bishop and the first lady servant, and my house is a wreck and it's a mess. When are you going to come see about me? When are you going to come see about me?
My God, my God.
There is good news for you on today. Jesus has a cure for what ails back at the house. He has a remedy for sickness and disease that's in your home. Jesus gives us the answer to cure the disease of a broken and chaotic home. After preaching and teaching, he shows the disciples that the sermon is still not done. The final amen has not been said. The expressed faith in spoken worship must now be fulfilled in the home. That which he preached must now be practiced. Peter took Jesus home. And when he took him home, his Savior home, he didn't leave Jesus at the church, but he brought him with him home. Yet so often, so many of us, we leave the church house to go to our own house, and we leave Jesus behind. We leave the sermon that we clapped for, that we passed out for, that we shouted for, that we ran for, that we tweeted for, that we Facebooked for. We leave it in the church house. Even not in agreement, in the church. Yet we go home empty, and things are still out of order. But the word for you on today, for us today, is that salvation has to come to our homes. And I know this might not be a popular message, but the word of God is still true on today. Amen? We need salvation. We all do. Tell someone, take Jesus with you. Take him to the place that is broken and shattered. Take him to the place which is chaotic and confusing. Take Jesus with you. You might be asking me, Lady Banister, how do I take him with me? How do I take him to my home, to my family, to my raggedy co-workers, Lord have mercy, Jesus, and to my neighbors? You must first examine your approach. The text says that Jesus came to her, or more literally, he approached her. We must re-examine our approach into introducing Christ into our homes. We must consider how we approach the subject of Jesus in the lives of our loved ones. Sometimes we come across as a religious guru, and you cannot force people to be like you want them to be. You must examine your approach. Some of us are simply intimidated when it comes to healing a diseased society. It's easy to be intimidated because the labels we tend to put on people. When people are ill, disabled, diseased, we label them. I know y'all ain't gonna be honest with me. It's all right. And then we categorize them. We make them seem abnormal. And if I could really go here, First Lady,
Go there.
let's be real. The phenomenon, let me not say phenomenon. That's not the right word. There's a surgence of gay pride. And the church don't want nothing to do with it. The church will not, let me not say the church, some churches, let me be politically correct. They don't want to take a stand and address, well, what are we going to do?
Come on.
What are we going to do? Are they welcome? Can they come in here? Don't ask me, but I'm just saying. Can they come? And not only that, can they come, but can they leave? Where do we stand? And because the church is such a beautiful thing, we're so diverse, some churches believe this, some believe that, and it's all so very vastly different. But my question is, how do we handle those who do not look like, act like, think like us when they come in the doors? How do we treat them? How do we handle them? Do we handle them with love? Or if they don't look like us, or their skirts too tight? How do we handle them? All right? Amen. That's why I said, let that baby talk. You make them feel abnormal and seem abnormal, and it may be abnormal to you, but that is their normal. Lord Jesus, have mercy. The unchurched, the unsaved, our labeling makes them seem strange and bizarre, yet we must now make them feel loved and accepted, because true healing restores people back to community.
Say that.
True healing restores people back to community. It does not exclude. Somebody might say, you're too fat to be in my church. Or you're too yellow. You can't come to my church. Or you're too dark. Or you wear braids. You can't come. What if they did that? And excluded people from the church. True healing restores people back to community. We must approach those who we love with the love of Christ. We're talking about healing hands and heels. So I'm trying to coach you, if you ain't caught it by now, how to be an extension of God's love, okay? We must approach those who we love with the love of Christ. And we must approach those who we love with the love of Christ. We must approach those who we love with the love of Christ. What I love about the Amplified version of this text is that Jesus went to her. He went where she was. And in other words, we must be willing to meet people where they are. So many times we expect and want people who have not been to church and who have not walked with Christ to behave like us.
Yeah.
And we've been saved for 5 minutes. We want them to say the right things, do the right things, and act the right way according to what? Our opinions.
Yeah.
Yet we are the people, yet we are to meet people where they are mentally, spiritually, and physically.
Amen.
We must meet them where they are. Yes, he or she may communicate with Ebonics and have a hood or ghetto mentality. Meet them right there. Yes, spiritually, she is inapt to the culture of the church. She does not know what to wear, and nor does she know or own the appropriate clothing or shoes and matching purse with the hat and all that you can get from that online website. You can get the whole set for $179.99. Meet her there. Physically, they may live in a bad neighborhood, and you may have to set the alarm and put the club guard on your car. Meet them there. The steps to the porch might be dilapidated and falling apart, and there may even be an odor in the house. Yet you must meet them there. Yes, he's a drunk. Had a sip before he came in the church door. Yes, they're an addict. They had a hit before they came to the altar. And yes, they speak with a slur. And yes, they have a tweet. But we must meet them there. And how is it that we meet them there? It is through intimacy. The verse says that he touched her.
Yeah.
He took her by her hand.
Yeah.
Now we must understand that in Jesus' time, this was inappropriate behavior, in particular because it was Sunday. And you all know them folk got together, the deacons and the board and all them folks, and they said, guess what? We making up these rules. We ain't having no healing on no Sunday. Can't do it. Am I right, Mother? All right?
My God.
Touching a woman filled with fever was unclean, especially on the Sabbath. But Jesus did not allow public opinion to affect his desire to reach the lost. What if he had said, I can't do it? Because I know this is, I got to follow the rules. Sometimes we got to break the rules in order to get true change to occur. He took her by the hand, and he did not have to. Jesus could have simply spoken a word, done ministry from a distance, yet he establishes a relationship with her. And the only way to begin to establish a relationship with those who are lost is to know them. That goes beyond finding out their names, but is learning about their lives. It's caring about the things that they care about. So your neighbor likes to go golfing. Go golfing with them. They're going to probably treat you to lunch. Your sister loves to go do gardening. I don't know. Try to take up gardening. Get involved with their lives. That translates into I sincerely care about your life. We're talking about healing hands in heels. Embodying what Christ has walked out. I care about your state of being rather than you going to my church. You ain't got to join my church for me to give you a plate. Then I just say, y'all come on up and get a fish plate. I ain't trying to take none of the members over here from over there. I ain't trying to do that. All right? But what we love about Jesus is that he never imposed his behavior patterns upon the disciples. Take a look in any of the Gospels. He modeled the word for them in the way in which he led his life. He prayed so faithfully that his disciples wanted to know how to pray. And they said, Lord, teach us how to pray. He lifted them higher to a higher standard through the way he led his life. He modeled the behavior he desired them to see in them. And that's the strange thing about people that we must overcome. We want others to act in the ways that we cannot act ourselves. We want them to speak gentle words and be humble and kind, yet we don't show those qualities. We want them to forgive and be understanding and patient, yet we are not. Where do we do that at? And the challenge is to become that which you desire to see in others. I want him to be more loving than you become more loving. I want her to be more supportive. Well then guess what? You become supportive. And you know this scripture that says, let's not grow weary in well-doing. I think that's applicable today in our churches. Because we get so tired. What's the first thing? I get tired of supporting so-and-so. I get tired of loving her.